Hi and welcome back to Sagat Hunter's YouTube channel. On my previous video about testing pastel paper, I was testing this Hahnemuhle lanacolours pastel paper. I tested it with colored pencil and pastel pencil, and I didn't like either of them. And whereas because this is pastel paper, then it's not really meant to be used with colored pencils, but it should have worked better with the pastel pencils. But I didn't think it grabbed the pastel pencil well enough. Now, this is only one half of my test sheet that I got in my test package of pastel papers. I got this other half, and what I was thinking was, I don't really like those Derwent pastel pencils anyways, so maybe it wasn't super fair to just deem it useless, the paper useless, or not good enough with a low quality pastel pencil. So I've decided to make another test with this sheet, and I got proper soft pastels. I got a set of Rembrandt's Professional Choice soft pastels, and I got a set of half sticks, a lot of colors. I got the big set of 90 half sticks. I like them, but I haven't used them very much. As you can see, it looks brand new. The other option is I got some Sennelier oil pastels. I got the 48 set. Both were the last Christmas gift I actually ever got from my mum. The oil pastels is a lot more used. Not a whole lot though, but more used than the others. And I have an extra box here, it's a little messy, with some extra colors that I bought. And believe it or not, I got some metallics in here. I think this is a bronze or a gold. So, and I have a blender thing here as well. You can get them in two sizes. These, the big stick in my hand, and the smaller sticks. Now, Sennelier and Caran d'Ache are pretty much the only two companies that, of the really super serious companies that make proper oil pastels. Almost anybody else has them as their only as student grade materials. There's an exception. What are they called? Anyways, I got another set that is almost as good as the professional brands. I've got the name of it, and it's useless. It doesn't matter right now. I'm not gonna show it. Now, I did that bird drawing on the other paper, but as I need to fit two things on what is pretty much an A5 page, and even these are not good for fine details, so I'll just make a couple of spheres and see how that goes. I'll try and make an apple with the soft pastels for starters. So let's get at it. I'll just start out with the light colors, just outlining my shape. And indicate where I want some some changes in color. Now these are a lot softer than the pastel pencils I used. These are proper soft pastels, and so the pigmentation is way more saturated in this than on the Derwent pencils. So that makes also, of course, a difference. I have a long history with pastels. I love making pastel drawings. And yes, again, if any professional artists are watching, coming by, I know I shouldn't use my fingers. It is still not, it's just a test. And this is not a sales piece, it's a practice piece. So, anyways, I love to use pastels. I got pastels, and I like both oil pastels and soft pastels. I don't mind it's messy. I love how it looks, and it's also the feel of it, how it works, goes on the paper. And I love the soft look you can get, especially with the soft pastels. Now, there's one thing that is quite annoying though, and that is you get what you pay for. So if you don't pay a lot, you don't get anything that is really worth working with. They don't cover well enough, they don't layer as they should, and they don't mix all that well either. The colors, you can see that here. It more just covers the color that is already there. You can do some mixing, but it's not super good. So you need a lot of colors to work with. So these 90s only just enough, and now these are half sticks. They don't cost as much as if you bought the full length sticks. But you easily could use 200-300 colors, and that just pulls a big gap in. I'll go in and add some of the yellow again. This actually works quite nice, and this is what this paper was made for. So as pastel paper, it works quite good. So that makes me happy. So you can just soften things up and layer, and when it's a good pastel, there's even a good chance of changing things, correcting things that isn't quite as you want them. I want a dark red in here in the tip of the apple here, the whole. So for this, it works really good. That is good. So you can use a lot of colors and spend a lot of money on a lot of pastels. And that's really the biggest issue with them, I think. And yeah, I know about pan pastels and all that new stuff, and I just haven't quite decided to get them. I got these and I'm happy with these. And I'm old-fashioned. I'm quite sure I would love pan pastels if I bought some. Absolutely. But not yet. Kind of exhausted my funds for that kind of stuff, so it will have to wait a bit. So yeah, this I can feel I'm disappearing into the drawing world here. It's that special piece. When I'm happy, I get quiet. So when I'm not quiet, people should be worried. Quiet is good when it's me. So yeah, so as pastel paper for good quality soft pastels, it is brilliant. I'm really happy about that. It works beautifully as we wanted to. So I could go forth and back with this for a long time. I won't keep up with it though. I'll just put my colors back, and so you get messy fingers, but it is nothing that a wet wipe can't take care of. That is a very wonky apple. But apples can be wonky sometimes, so that's okay. So that was one kind. I better put the lid on these because I don't want them all over my desk in one colorful, messy heap. So that was the soft pastels. I can absolutely give that big winged it off there. So oil pastels. Here I'm also looking for how I can layer the colors, but I'll also look for if the oil seeps through the paper. Now pastels has a tendency to break, and that's just the nature of them. So you might often find yourself working with stumps, and that's just how they are. Now oil pastels is a whole different media than the dry pastels. It's sticky, and these ones are extremely soft. You can use them in combination with oil paintings but you should put them as the top layer. If you don't, you can use them as a very thin, like a on the painting, but you should really thin them out with turpentine then, and melt the oils or the fats that they are made of, because there is no drying agent in this, so it never becomes dry and stiff like oil paint does. Or you use it as they are, as the top layer. So, and because they don't dry, that's part of the strength of them also, because they keep that vivid color. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out the colors. It's a little tricky because they rouge. Yeah. It's not that they have spent a lot of room on here for the writing. But it says down here, Rouge Helios. And I bet that is a light. So these ones, they layer nicely and mix beautifully, because they are super high end. They are so good. It's like painting with lipstick or something. They are that soft, and not any lipstick. It is like a super expensive high end lipstick at that. They just glide right on the paper. And they blend and mix and layer beautifully. And again, if you're watching, don't do what I do. Do what I say. Use a color shaper or a tortillon paper stump, something other than your fingers, to mix your colors with. Because I'm a lazy, lousy artist that I use my fingers. So yeah, so you can either mix them out or blend them out like that, make them soft, or you can leave harder lines. The paper is taking this abuse quite nicely, so I will be happy to use it. I might actually buy some to do pastel work on. I won't be using it for colored pencils. That was pretty poor, but I like how they do this. When I do oil pastel drawings, I usually do them bigger than this, because they are a little, I think they're best for doing kind of loose and broad stroke drawings with. I think that's what they work the best for. Mungoy was the brand I couldn't think of before. That's the benefit of just leaving things be. They pop up in your head on their own later. So yeah, Mungoy makes a very decently priced and quite good oil pastel as well. I actually got a set lying around that I really need to use more. And now it's winter, so now I can use oil pastels. It is actually a winter thing for me, because they now we have quite the warm summer, and they really is not good when it's warm, because the oils in here, they melt in the summer. so it just gets one sticky mess to work with. But now the temperature is useful for that. So yeah, nice layering, nice. It grabs it well enough, but it also allows me to slide it around and mix it. Get a highlight here and another one over there. So yeah, it's approved for pastel work. Absolutely. I need a dark color for the blue in there. So yeah, test number 2 is passed. Cleaning my fingers. Wet wipes is a thing to have, or a cloth with a little bit of soap water when you work with pastels, that being soft or oil pastels. So that was the conclusion of my test of the Hahnemuhle pastel paper. It is not good with colored pencils. It is not good with pastel pencils. Not when you, at least not when you use only pastel pencils alone. It doesn't have enough tooth for either, really. But it's brilliant. I'm really happy how it was to work with the soft pastel and the oil pastel on this. I got crumbs from my eraser. So it is useful for what it was made for. Pastel paper. Works with pastels. So thumbs all the way. Half and half. I like it for what it was intended to. So thank you for watching. Like and subscribe. I have more paper to test, but I won't do it today. Take care. Bye.